Welcome to this practice where we're going to be focusing on maintaining strength to help with our flexibility so that we can be strong at our end ranges of motion, so that the flexibility is functional and not just like, oh, I can, come into a split, but if you don't have strength in that split, you could end up injuring yourself, or it's just like, it's not really practical for bringing whatever you're learning into your daily life. So approach this practice with an open mind. It's for all levels. Might be a little challenging for beginners, but it really depends on what you do, what your strength is, how you move, how you practice. And so we're just going to explore and have fun and see what happens. So start with your hands on your knees in a comfortable seat. Gently press your thighs up into your hands and resist with your hands until you feel your core engaging. Then press a little bit more into the left leg. Lift it up. Press a little bit more into the right leg. Lift it up. Press evenly into both hands. And then relax. And notice that everything settles to the ground a little bit easier. Begin to circle around your hips, floating your weight to one side and then forward and to the other side and then back. Just going with a feeling of fluidity and exploring the flexibility that you have in this as we're beginning our practice. And switch directions. Lean into your right hip, stretch your left leg out, and swing your left arm up and over, lifting your ribs up, reaching out through your toes and down through your fingers. Press your right foot into the floor. Then come on back down, and we'll just flip and switch sides. Press into your left hand, reach your right ribs up, and reach from your right toes to your right fingers. And come on back down. We'll do a little work on our feet. So cross your right ankle above your left knee. Thread the fingers of your left hand between your right toes. And massage your foot with the opposite hand. You can also use your left hand to bring some flexion and extension into your toes. And see if you can become aware of the three arches of our feet. So that's the medial arch, the lateral arch, and the transverse arch. Begin to do a little twisting and maybe circling. Noticing if you have any tender spots, any lumpy spots. And we have a tripod of our foot. So that's the mound of the big toe, the mound of the pinky toe, and the center of the heel. So when we're working on our balance, it's important to be aware of that tripod and trying to press evenly out through that whole tripod, whether your heel's on the ground or lifted. There's still that action there. Then extend your leg and just flex your toes towards your body and point them away. Just flex back and forth. Good. Let's do the other foot. So cross your left ankle above your right knee. Thread the fingers of your right hand in between your toes. And explore your foot with your left hand. Move the foot around. Notice if there's any restrictions. And if you've had accidents where maybe you've stubbed your toe really badly or broken your toe, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel some resistance in your foot. Make sure you twist and release your fingers. Stretch your leg out and flex and point back and forth. Good. Let's come onto our backs. First, just take a moment to let your back settle into the ground. Bring your feet about hip distance apart and push your feet down and forward so your low back is pressing into the floor. And squeeze your legs in toward each other. Press down through all your toes, the tripod of your foot. Let your arms rest by your sides. And then start to squeeze your glutes, pressing into the floor, hugging in with your legs, and float your back up. One vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, hold here and squeeze. Try not to let your butt drop, but think of your tilting your tailbone towards your heels. And start to slowly release, lowering all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. When the weight of your hips finally settles into the ground, cross your right ankle above your left knee. Flex your foot. Find the tripod of your left foot on the ground and start to push down as you curl up. Try not to let the right hip drop, but see if you can keep it lifted. As you push down, squeeze your glutes, rise up, and slowly lower back down. When your hips are fully down and resting, switch sides. So cross your left ankle above your right knee, flex your left foot, push into the tripod of your right foot and start to peel your back, your hips away off the floor. And slowly lower down with control. When your hips are finally settled, let's switch sides again. Again, flex your foot, tuck your tailbone, press down to float up. Trying to keep that right hip lifted. And slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time. Moving slowly with mindfulness and awareness. Cross your left ankle above the right knee. Flex your foot. Start to lead so your tailbone is lifting, and then your back slowly peels off the floor. Hold at the top. And slowly lower down, taking your time. We'll do one more each side, going at your own pace. Feeling the strength that it takes to lift up towards your end range, lifting up really high, balancing on one leg. But notice how your whole body has to work to maintain that lift. And switch sides. And you want to lower down with control. Uncross your legs, hug your knees to the sides of your ribs. Reach in between your knees, grab your feet, and press your feet up into your hands and pull down with your hands. So you feel your back engaging, your inner thighs, maybe your hamstrings start to work, quads. And relax and let go. Begin to gently rock from side to side. Hold the back of your legs, and with your chin tucked, begin to rock forward and back. And you're pumping with your legs. And next time you rock forward, hold here. You can keep holding the back of your legs. You could bring your hands behind you. You could stretch your arms forward, and you could straighten your legs if you would like. Slowly lower your legs all the way down. Coming into Dandasana, staff pose. So lean a little bit forward. Relax your shoulders and pick your left leg up and lower it down. Pick the right leg up and lower it down. And just keep lifting and lowering alternate legs. Feeling those thighs turning on. I'm going to go a couple more rounds back and forth. Add one more lift each side. And lean forward over your legs. Bring your hands in front of your hips, between your hips and your knees, and you can find just a place that feels right for you. Tilt your body forward. Puff up into your back. Press down with your hands to float your hips up. Squeeze your legs towards each other. And slowly lower down. Again, lean forward, press down, lift up. Hold. Lower down. It's still really hard for me to do this. So one more time, reach forward. Press down, lift up, and hold. Good. Lower back down. And just bow forward over your legs. Reaching your hands forward. Maybe give your feet another massage if you can reach your feet. You can always bend your knees a little bit. Maybe do a little cat-cows with your back. Coming deeper into the stretch when you're in more of an anterior tilt, and releasing some of the stretch when you're in a little bit more of a posterior tilt. Then walk your hands back and come onto your hands and knees in tabletop. Grip the mat with your hands and begin to swing your hips from side to side. You could do figure eights if you like. You could do circles. Just move around in a creative way. Come back to neutral. Start lifting your tailbone up, sinking your ribs down, expanding your chest forward and lifting your chin up. Coming into cow pose with an arch back. And start to tuck the tailbone underneath, rounding up your spine, lowering your chin towards your chest. And repeat that a few more times. Nice, even, smooth movement. Being aware of your whole spine and how everything is connected. Walk your hands forward and walk your feet back, coming into a forearm plank. Push into your hands, hug your arms in, hug your legs in. Keep your glutes active here. And start to lift your hips up as you walk your feet forward. Come as far forward as you can with your shoulders, like feeling okay with this. And press into your hands, shift your hips back. And walk back into your forearm plank. Keep a little buoyancy. And lift your hips up again, walk forward. Now, stretch your hips towards your heels. You can stay here, or you can try squeezing your arms in, pressing into your hands so your elbows lift up. And then bend the elbows, lower down, and lift back up. So we might only be able to go part way. That's okay. Try and keep your weight back. Because if your weight comes forward, it will be really hard to lift your elbows back off the floor. But if your weight stays back, it's a little bit easier. And you might have to lower down one forearm at a time. Walk your feet back, coming back into your forearm plank. Lower your thighs down, slide your hands back, rise up, cobra, open up. Keep the hands nice and active. Your back should be nice and active as well. Lower back down again. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift your shoulders up, reach your hands back. Hug your legs in and float your legs up. Float your chest up. Release your arms, swim your arms forward and back. And forward, maybe to touch, and back, maybe to touch. And bring your hands back down. Press your feet down, rise up, cobra. And lift your hips, stretch back into child's pose. Let your forehead relax. Let your forehead relax on the ground, I should say. Let your whole body relax. On your next inhale, round your spine, come up and step your right foot forward. Lift and spread all your toes, and then drive your knee forward past your toes. Press into the back foot and lift the inner thigh of the back leg up. And you can do a little pulsing here. You could shift your weight from side to side. Just exploring the back hip. Really exploring your whole body. Just noticing where you feel the most sensation. Then lower the back knee down, shift your hips back, slide your foot forward. Begin to point and flex your toes. And shift your weight forward, pulling your foot back a little bit. Rise up into a low lunge. Release your arms, reach your arms up, and drive your knee forward again. Then shift your weight back, reach your arms out to the side, or they could come down to the mat. And reach forward and up. Reach back. And come forward again, this time with your fingers on the ground. And you might want to bend your mat so you have a little extra padding underneath your knee. Then squeeze your heel towards your hip and straighten the leg down, pushing your foot into the floor. And squeeze your heel in, release and press down. Squeeze the heel in again. You can stay here or you can reach back with your right hand for your left foot. And gently draw your heel in and release. You could even move your whole body a little bit. You could move your hips to your heel. You could move your heel to your hips. And release your foot. Unfold your mat. Bow over your front leg. And step back into tabletop. And move your hips around. And step your left foot forward. Drive your left knee forward. Press into the top of the right foot. Squeeze your inner thighs. Reach your arms up. And shift your weight back. You can have your hands down on the ground, your hands on your leg, your arms out to the side. And just reach forward and back. And stay back. Slide your foot forward a little bit. Maybe do some pelvic tilts here. Feeling the effect on your hamstring. You can internally and externally rotate your hips. And shift your weight forward again. Maybe fold your mat so your knee has a little extra padding. And then press your heel towards your hip and straighten your leg and press in again. So if you have yoga blocks, you could use them underneath your hands. Next time your heel is squeezing in, reach back with your left hand for your right foot. Gently pull it in and release. Again, you could be up like more over your knee or a little bit forward of your knee. And release your foot, unfold your mat, and step back into downward facing dog. Reach your hips way back as far as they'll go. And lift up through your belly and your rib cage. Bend your knees forward slightly and start to press your top of your thighs back, your heels back. Keep your arms strongly engaged. Then walk your feet forward to your hands. Come up onto your fingertips. Lift and spread all your toes. And rooting down through your toes, lift your heels up. Lower the heels down. Float the front of the feet up and lower down and just lift and lower. Next time the front of your foot is lifted, hold there. Really pull your toes toward your legs. Push down into your heels. Hug your legs in. Bow over your legs. And lower the front of your foot down. Heel toe your feet in together. Sink your hips down, coming into Utkatasana chair pose. And hold your knees with your hands. Begin to circle. So you're rolling to the outside edge of your right foot, the inside edge of your left foot, back into your heels, over to the other side, and forward. Letting your feet move around, feeling the energy in your feet, the balance in your feet as you shift your weight. Reverse the circles. And press into your feet, rise all the way up. Heel toe your feet till they're hip distance apart. Roll out the shoulders and rock back and forth on your feet. Feeling your feet roll from your toes to your heels and from your heels to your toes. And lower down. Inhale, reach your heels up as you reach your arms up. Exhale, lower the heels, lower your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release, coming into a forward fold. Lift and spread all your toes. And press into your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. On your next inhale, pull the left knee up. Reach it high, externally rotate your hip. Place your foot on your inner thigh. Then pull your knee back up again. Extend your leg. And slowly lower your leg down as you lower your arms down by your sides. Shift your weight into your left foot. As you inhale, pull the right knee up. Externally rotate, place your foot on your inner thigh. Finding your tree pose. And bring your knee forward, extend your leg. And slowly lower down, release your arms. We'll do that one more time each side. So inhale, pull your left knee up. Externally rotate for tree pose. Pull your knee forward, extend your leg. And slowly lower down. Release your arms. Inhale, squeeze the right knee up. Externally rotate at your hip, place your foot on your inner thigh. Bring your knee forward, extend your leg. And slowly lower down. Release your arms. So now we're going to step back into a lunge. Inhale, pull your left knee up. Exhale, reach forward as you extend your leg back. Land on your toes, and then the ball mounds of your feet, and then the heel of your foot. And come forward again. Lift up. Extend your leg back. Touch the toes, ball mound of the foot, reaching the heel back so you can straighten your front leg a little bit to get back there. And as you come forward, start to peel away from the heel into the ball mount, into the toes, lift up. One more time, reach back, land the toes and the metatarsal heads and the heel, and step forward. This time pull your knee up, coming into tree pose. And lower down. Inhale, pull your right knee up. Exhale, reach it back. Touch your toes and the metatarsal heads and the heel down. And as you step forward, peel away from the floor, pulling your knee up. Exhale, reach back again. And peel off and come forward. Exhale, reach back. Peel your knee, come forward. This time, come into tree pose. And back into Tadasana. All right, so now we're gonna step back and try and balance on the back foot. So inhale, reach your right knee up. Exhale, extend it back. And then we're gonna push off the front foot, lowering down into the back foot. Pull your knee up and reach it forward again. Heel to toe, pull your knee up and reach back. Toes to heel, pull up and reach forward. So Reaching forward is more like how we normally walk forward. Stepping back is a little bit different, so the balance might be a little bit more tricky, a little bit trickier. Maybe start coming into tree pose as you step forward and back. Good, one more time. Each side. Oops. And step forward again into your Tadasana. Just kind of shake everything out. Let's try the other side. So inhale, pull the right knee up. Exhale, step it back. Find your tree pose at the back of your mat. Inhale, step forward again. Lift up. Step back. And step forward. And lower back down. Inhale, pull your left knee up. Step it back. Find your tree pose at the back of your mat. And step your right foot forward, coming into tree pose at the front of your mat. Step it back into your tree pose, lift up. And step forward, tree pose. One more time. Step back into tree. And step forward into tree, lower down. Inhale, pull the right knee up. Step it back into tree pose. And step forward into tree, coming to the front of your mat. Reach back, step forward into tree. Extend forward, step forward into tree. One more time. Reach back, tree pose. Reach forward, tree pose. Lower down, finding your Tadasana. Just shake everything out again. And we'll try a flow. Let's see how it feels after working on transitioning between the two, the front of the back of the mat. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Slowly lower all the way down. Rise up, cobra, open up here. Exhale, reach forward as you lower, tuck your toes. Down dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward. Warrior one, back heel comes down. Rise up. Push into your back heel. See if you can draw your left hip forward a little bit. Drive forward through your right knee. Lift your back heel up, open up, warrior two. You can reposition your legs. So push into the tripod of both feet. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg here and reach all the way forward into your triangle. Open up. Reach the left hand forward, stepping into your right foot. Twist to your right for a revolved half moon. And lower your right hand down, stack your hips, find your half moon. Maybe even gaze up. Lower the top hand down, step back, down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step all the way forward. Rotate the back heel down, rise up, warrior one. Open up, warrior two. Keep your left knee driving forward as you reach back to reverse your warrior. And straighten your front leg, send your hips back as you reach forward with your chest, your shoulders coming into triangle. Reach your right arm forward, stepping into revolved half moon. And lower the left hand down, stack the hips, Open up, half moon. Lower your top hand down, step back, down dog. Inhale, ripple forward to plank. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. Again, inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk your feet forward and come on into a squat. Bring your elbows to your inner knees and press your elbows out. Slowly sink your hips to the floor. Draw your legs up for Navasana, boat pose. And slowly lower onto your back. Bend your knees and bring your feet as wide as the mat. Extend your arms out to the side. Begin to windshield wiper twist from side to side. Come back to center, find your happy baby. Hands could be at your feet or behind just above your knees, on the back of your thighs. Encircle your ankles. Cross your right ankle above your left knee for eye of the needle. And you can interlace your fingers on the front of your left shin or the back of your left thigh. Move around here to explore. Release your hands, shift your hips to the right, and twist your lower body to the left. Placing your right foot, at least the ball mount of your foot, of your toes, onto the floor. Open your knees back and forth, your knee away from you, and then let it drop in towards you. And now, see if you can hold your right foot with your left hand and begin to extend your legs away from each other. So the right leg extends out to the left. The left leg extends out to the bottom of your mat. And you can always wiggle yourself back onto your mat. Stay here, or there's an option to bend your left knee, reach for your foot with your hand. Very similar to what we did in that quad stretch earlier. Think of externally rotating your right hip, and you can push your feet into your hands, and then relax. Release your left foot if you were holding it, roll back onto your back. Release your right foot and cross your left ankle above your right knee. Eye of the needle. Explore here. You want to make sure that your knee doesn't feel like there's pressure, like a sideways torque on your knee. So don't try and open up your hips more than they're really able to do. Don't try and do that with your knee. Don't find the opening with your knee, find the opening in your hip joint. Because the hip joint is a ball and socket joint. It's meant to rotate in many different directions, but the knee is just a hinge joint. So it's not meant to spin around like the hip joint. Release your arms, shift your hips over to the left, and twist your legs to the right. You can open your left knee away and then bring it forward, back and forth. You can stay here, or you could extend your legs in opposite directions. You can stay here, or you can bend your right knee, squeeze your heel to your hip, Reach for your foot. And you could push your feet down, externally rotate the top hip. Hold for a few seconds and relax. Now you can release your right foot if you're holding it. Come back up onto your back. Center your hips and your shoulders on the mat. And squeeze your knees into your chest. Circle your ankles both directions, and you can point and flex. And float your arms and legs up for dead bug pose. Let your shoulders relax, hips relax. And feel the heaviness of your bony skeleton being pulled by gravity in toward the earth. You can start wiggling your fingers and your toes if you want. And bend your knees, and we'll just stretch out for a short savasana. You can always stay longer, but I'll stay with you for maybe 30 to 60 seconds, just letting yourself relax. And focus on your exhales being longer than your inhales. You can begin to slowly turn your head from side to side. And wiggle your fingers and your toes again. Feel free to stay here longer in Savasana. Otherwise, just slowly make your way back to a comfortable seat. Settle down into your pelvis. Relax your shoulders. Feel the breath moving in and out through your nose. And just take a moment to appreciate how you're feeling. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I hope that you feel a greater sense of strength and balance and gracefulness and movement. I would love to hear from you if you would leave a comment, and please share this with your friends. Hit the like button, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.